Alright friends, subscribers and strangers, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. So in this video today, I'm going to introduce you to a simple yet effective time management system that's worth $500,000. Do I have your attention? Story time. Alright, so it's 1918 and Bethlehem Steel founder Charles Schwab is running one of the largest steel producing companies in the world. And he is looking for a way to improve their productivity and efficiency. You know, this guy is a hustler as defined by Thomas Edison back in the day. And he is constantly looking for an edge over his competition. So he figures if they become more efficient, they can make even more steel cheaper, better, more profits. And so he reaches out to a well-respected productivity consultant named Ivy Lee. I'd never heard of either one of these folks until a few days ago. And so Ivy Lee is a very successful businessman in his own right. He's remembered as a pioneer in the field of public relations. So the story goes, Schwab brought Lee into his office and says, all right, so show me a way to get things done. Lee says, give me 15 minutes with each one of your executives. Schwab asked, normally, as you know, what does the businessman ask? How much is that going to cost? Lee responds, nothing. Unless after 3 months it works for you, and then you can decide to pay me what you think it's worth. Schwab decides, you know, he doesn't have anything to lose here. This is a win-win proposition for him. And so he takes him up on his offer. And so now Lee has 15 minutes for each one of the executives, and this is what he did. With each one of them, he explained that at the end of each workday, he needs them to write down 6 things that are the most important things that need to be done the next day. No more than 6, no less than 6, 6 items. Rank them in the order of importance from 1 to 6. And so when you arrive the next day, he had them start on number 1. You know, you rank this as the most important thing that you needed to get done. Do it first. You can't start on number 2 till you finish number 1. So do this with the rest of your list. You know, you're not going to start on number 2 till you finish number 1. You're not going to jump over 3 to go to 4. You're going to go in order. And if you have any tasks left over, transfer them to the next day. Rank them in order again of importance of the things you need to do for the next day. And continue this process. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. So that's what he had him do. You know, it sounds like it's a very simple strategy, right? So the team at Bethlehem Steel, you know, gave it a shot. So after 3 months, Schwab had Lee come back in and talk about their progress and what had happened since he put the executives in this new time management system. He was absolutely amazed. He wrote him a check for $25,000 on the spot, told him that this was the best investment he'd ever made. The productivity and efficiency of the company was through the roof. It was making more money now than they'd ever made because of their efficiency, that they were getting things done, no longer tasks that were uncompleted. So $25,000. Here, you mentioned $500,000 worth of advice, and here you have shorted us at $25,000. That's $1918, folks. In 1918, $25,000 would be worth nearly $500,000 in 2023. So why was it so effective? You know, why is the Ivy method, it seems so simple. Why is it so effective? Let's talk about a few reasons why it's so effective. And is it something that you can put into practice in your life? Well, first of all, it is very effective because it's very simple and easy to follow. It focuses on prioritizing tasks based on importance. So you are getting the most important things done every single day. It also encourages you to reflect on your daily progress because you're looking at a list of 6 items. You can see exactly at the end of the day what you got finished, what you still need to do, and you're going to adjust the task list accordingly for the next day. So it's an adaptive approach to time management. It breaks down tasks into smaller, manageable steps, focusing on completing one task at a time. The method helps to increase focus and reduces the chances of feeling overwhelmed. You have wins every single day. I can't tell you, how do I apply this in my own life? One of the things I do is I sell items on eBay. And the difference between listing on a computer, which is I've always done, and listing on a phone takes some of these same practices. Because for a computer, I would take pictures. And then, I'd have all these listings that I have to start working through. On the phone, I would do the listings one at a time. So I'd take the pictures of the listing, take the picture. And so instead of having 15 items that didn't get listed, but they're in some various state of, in the next few days, they're eventually going to get listed, I might get 4 done. So I have 4 completed, 5 completed. The next day, same thing. So as I completed tasks, so what happens, if you're doing them, I was doing them on the computer and something happened and I forgot about it. I'd have all these listings that were all screwed up, never listed. But when I use the phone, maybe I only got 3 days worth of it done before my mind got distracted. It happens. Happens a lot. You can see I get a shiny object. Woo! Squirrel, squirrel. And so even if that happened, I'd still have 4, 5, 6 listings that were done each day that were completed and up for sale. And so these items are selling in my store. Imagine that eBay rewards you when you have sales that are consistently listing, consistently busy. It worked out for me in my life. I already using part of this. This really makes, these factors here really make the Lee method, Ivy Lee's method of productivity and efficiency very effective. I was so impressed with this that I have started using this in my own life. This is day 1. I have only failed the first one. I couldn't get it down to 6. So I've got 8 items today. Moving forward, I'm going to do my best to stick to the 6. But today I'm starting with 8. I have a couple of them that are just phone calls need to be made, but I didn't want to forget, so I put them on there. Try it for yourself. See if this makes a difference in the way your workday goes. And if just give it more than a few days, give it a couple of weeks, see, and look back and reflect. Are you getting things done? Is your productivity up? Are you having a lot of wins? It's also a good way not to forget things, because if every single day you work, you're reflecting on what you've done, what you've got to get done, and you're putting this down. I asked a friend about this, and his immediate reaction was he uses a similar method. And the one nice thing about this is when you come to work the next day, or you're self-employed, you're not wondering what you've got to do, because the previous workday, you've got everything that's important, you've got it prioritized, and you can immediately start getting things done that you don't spend a lot of time, wasted time going, I wonder what I need to do today. What's that important? You've already done this function, and it allows you to immediately get to work. And at the end of the day, it's a good play to close the day out. One thing a lot of entrepreneurs have is the problem with separating business and personal. And so that's also leaves a clean break at the end, so that you go, this is the end of once I'm done making the list, that's the end of my day. And you can create some personal work life balance. So, hey, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm coming up with all kinds of videos. This one was on productivity. A lot of them were on reselling. Join the picture. Roll Tide.